Kate, look, the president's speech, it clearly failed to put out the fire in the oil market. If anything, it seemed to just make people even more nervous, right? The hope was that we get some clarity, some de-escalation. We didn't get that. That's why we're seeing this 10% increase in oil prices today. $110 a barrel, highest intraday level in almost 4 years. And there is this concern that if the war lasts through June, you could see much higher prices. Macquarie Group had put out some research recently where they said if this lasts through June, $200 a barrel oil, that would equate to $7 a gallon gasoline in the United States, blowing away that record high from 4 years ago under former President Biden. And I asked Macquarie Group, what if the war ends, the military conflict winds down, but the Strait of Hormuz remains closed? And they said, yeah, that could still lead to this $200 a barrel oil situation, because even though the president has argued we don't need the Strait of Hormuz and the United States is completely immune, I mean, this is still a world oil market. And I think, if anything, the last 4 months has really shown us how this remains interconnected, and what happens on the other side of the world in the Middle East impacts people here in the United States. And look, I know $200 oil sounds pretty extreme, but this is an epic supply disruption. This is the biggest supply disruption when you measure it from estimated supply that has been knocked offline on record, right? Twice as big as the Arab oil embargo back in the 1970s, much bigger than the Gulf War of the 1990s as well. And look, Bank of America put out a warning where they said that if the oil that has been knocked offline by the war, it doesn't come back in the next 2 or 3 weeks, they say that we could have a breakdown of the global oil supply chain, and that would be inevitable. And the White House has pushed back. They say the president has a plan here, that he's taken real action to try to mitigate these higher prices. And he has, right? There's been this epic release of emergency oil.
Right.
They've waived some restrictions on shipping. They're trying to stand up some maritime insurance, but clearly it hasn't worked. And look, gas prices, Kate, they keep going higher, right? The new national average for regular gas, $4.08 a gallon. And this is not just a blue state problem, right? Some of the states experiencing the biggest price hikes for gas over the last month are states that voted for President Trump, including, look at this, Arizona, $1.37 higher just in the past month, almost $1.50 in Utah, Florida, Texas as well. And the spike in oil prices this morning, Kate, suggests that this is not over, and we're going to see higher and higher gas prices in the coming days.
And as this